I'd like to welcome you all once again to the old schoolhouse here in the hamlet of Butterstone in Perthshire in Scotland for another one of our wee Saturday night half hours. Thanks for joining me and Jen, just me and Jen in the house tonight and in the old schoolhouse tonight. And you can actually feel spring is in the air out there now. You know, it's not so cold. My seeds are all starting to grow. My bees are working. And it's still cold, but you can sense everything's just sort of coming alive. And I love this time of year for all that. And, you know, in Scotland, for those of you, we do have 4 very separate seasons, you know. And so it's kind of... I know that some parts of the planet, the seasons kind of just merge into each other, but we definitely have 4 very distinctive seasons. So it's quite exciting when everything starts the birds are all starting to arrive back, and it's brilliant. So I'm going to start off with this wee song. And this was a request. I've got my wee request list here. And could you please welcome to the stage the wonderful Tatty Faces once again, who will be accompanying me tonight. And this is for Rachel Rosenfield from Louisville in Kentucky. And so we'll see if we can waken up the voice and get the fingers working. Anyway. Here comes the morning, cruel and clear. There is no reasonable chance that it might disappear. And here comes the evening, it's still the same. We are just passengers upon this godless, ghostly train. But she loves me when I try. She thinks about me when I'm gone. Oh, she helps me when I can't hold on. And it's another market, another sale, another reason to we're ahead and cannot fail. But there's deadly dangers we must endure. There are so many different ways, we never can be sure. But she loves me when I try. She thinks about me when I'm gone. Oh, she helps me when I can't hold on. There is no ending to this tale. There is no destination on this long and restless rail. Here comes the morning, cruel and clear. There is no reasonable chance that it might disappear. But she loves me when I try. She thinks about me when I'm gone. Oh, she helps me when I can't hold on. You can try and sing that with me, go on. And she loves me when I try. She thinks about me when I'm gone. Oh, she helps me when I can't hold on. I've got a wee frog in my throat there. And that's my, thank you very much. That's my wee song, She Loves Me When I Try. And that was for Rachel Rosenfield Rosenfield from Louisville in Kentucky. I like that part of the world, actually, and I quite like the bourbon that in Kentucky. Anyway, I'm going to continue with this wee song, and this is not a song that I do very often, and it's a love song. In fact, that's 2 love songs in a row, which is quite unusual for me, actually. I don't tend to sing love songs in a row, but this was requested, and I thought I would do it because I'm going to have a wee mouthful of the port just for my throat. If I can drown that frog that's rattling around there. Yeah, so it's not a song that I do often, but we'll try it and we'll see how we get on. And so here we go. All right, Mr. Tieface, yeah. Through another day, some forgotten gentle words to say. You hold it to your heart, you never let it fall apart. There's beauty where she sleeps, there's beauty in the secrets that she keeps. Take it to your dreams, for nothing is the way it seems. In the wildest storm, in the thunder night, she will always be waiting here. And through that will steal the bright, she will always be waiting here. And through an endless sky, carried by the wind that can't deny, you hold it to your heart, never let it fall apart. And the tree with branches strong, the river flowing ever endless on, waters dark and deep, they lead these weary eyes to sleep. In the wildest storm, in the thunder light, she will always be waiting here. And through unknown ways that will steal the bright, she will always be waiting. Through another day, some forgotten gentle words to say. You hold it to your heart, you never let it fall apart. And there's beauty where she sleeps, there's beauty in the secrets that she keeps. Take it to your dreams, for nothing is the way it seems. In the wildest storm, in the thunder light, she will always be waiting bright, she will always be waiting here. Let's try and sing that with me, going. I think the global choir could have a wee go at that. In the wildest storm, in the thunderlight, she will always be waiting here. And through unknown ways that will steal the bright, she will always be waiting here, always waiting here. Thank you very much, and that's my wee song, Always Waiting Here. I always kind of, but it's difficult. I've said this before. It's very difficult to write love songs that don't sound corny, and it's quite a challenge as a songwriter. I'm going to do. I'm using this. I'm going to do this song now, and this has got a chorus. I haven't done this for a while, and it's one of the great things about living around Butterstone here, this wee hamlet, is that you're up on the hills. You're continually reminded that people have been living here for thousands of years before you, because up on the hills above the village are all the remains of the stone circles and burial cairns and hut circles and field systems where people, Neolithic people and Iron Age people have been living up on the hills. And so I wrote this kind of really strange, bizarre... Oh, now, that song actually was for... Jilly, I think it's Jilly Banks from the Isle of Bute. Hi, Jilly, how you doing? That wee song was for Jilly and from the Isle of Bute, and so I hope you enjoyed that. And this next song is for Jeffrey Aldwich in Melbourne, Australia. Now, I mean, that's fantastic. I bet it's warm in Melbourne just now. Oh, it's the winter in Melbourne. It's autumn in Melbourne, so it's not hot. But maybe hotter in Butterstone here. Anyway, this is a song. I'm going to have to do a wee quick change of tuning here, just if you bear with me. That'll have really confused any guitar players who And so this has got a chorus, and we'll get the global choir singing this. Let's try it and see how we get on. It's quite a lot of words in it, but you sing, in darkness we do what we can, in daylight we're oblivion, our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. In darkness we do what we can, in daylight we're oblivion, our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. And actually I'd planned to do this because my dear friend Jimmy Anderson, who played the electric guitar on the original recording of this, was going to come along tonight, and it would have been one of the first times I would have had a friend up playing with me, but sadly his daughter has just recovered from a hip operation, so he couldn't make it. So I'm going to do it. So you just have to imagine Jimmy's guitar solo. Oh, got it. Okay, you all ready? In darkness we do... I'm going to take that down a little bit, actually, I think. Just a little bit. In darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. That's what you sing. Will we try it? Get a bit of noise going. You can clap your hands and create a wee bit of percussion if you want as well. In darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. On the water we have walked like the fearless child. What was fastened we've unlocked, revealing wondrous wild. And in search of confirmation we have jumped into the fire and scrambled with our burning feet through uncontrolled desire. And in darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. There's a well upon the hill from our ancient past, where an age is standing still, holding strong and fast. And there's those that try to tame it and to carve it into stone. Oh, but words cannot extinguish it, however hard they're thrown. And in darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. And this is where you sing it on your own. Let's have a bit of global choir happening here. Go on. Oh. In darkness fantastic. Absolutely. We're getting the vibe here. We're getting the vibe in the old schoolhouse here. We're getting a kind of pagan kind of vibe going on in the old, aren't we, Mr. Tighface? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We'll do it again. That's fantastic. On. In darkness. Locative they have worked with their Highland dream. By Kilcrennan they have nourished in the mountain stream. And in searching for acceptance we have given it away. Only the children of their children know the price they had to pay. And in darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. Guitar solo, Mr. Times. darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. Are turning away from here. Are turning away from here. Well done out there. Well done. I'm getting it here. I'm getting the vibe in the old schoolhouse. And that's my funny wee song about the pagany kind of place that we live here. Well, up on the hill up there. In fact, I mention a well in the second verse. It's now called the Well of Santa Cruz, or Gruz Well it's called, and I've known it since I was a wee boy. But it goes right back to kind of pre-Christian times, and I think there was certain stones where people would come from all around, and people would get laid out on these stones, and different stones would fix different ailments and things like that. It was quite magical, and so we used to always go up there. The most powerful day was the 1st of May, which is coming up, and you go up and you wash your face there, and you get to kind of eternal youth or something. It hasn't really worked for me for some reason. I don't know why. I've splashed a lot of that water from that well on my face. But anyway, we'll finish off with this wee song, and I'm going to just do Sorry, I've just got to change the tune. Anyway, that's near enough. That's near enough. And this was a request for it's a wee song called Hide in the Wind. And it's a song that I wrote after losing my Uncle Bob, who lived with us. And I've told this story before hundreds of times, but it's just for those of you who might have just tuned in. And when I was growing up, I had a mum and a dad and an Uncle Bob, and bachelor Uncle Bob, who lived with us. And he was a great crack, Uncle Bob, and he was always there for us when I had fallen out with my father, or if I needed an extra bit of money for going out to dancing and that, you know. Anyway, when he passed away, it was the first time I'd lost somebody really close, and but somebody said they don't go away, they just hide in the wind, and so I made a wee song about that. It's called Hide in the Wind, and so Jen's mum. Died when Jenny was 14. Jen's mum died of cancer, and she was a piano player. So I mentioned her in the second verse. But this was requested for Robert Prosser from Burwell in Cambridgeshire, UK. Oh, and this is in memory of his dad, who just recently passed away. And it would have been his birthday in a couple of days' time. That's kind of sad. But anyway, my condolences to you all. And this is a good wee song for times when. For sad times like this, and so we'll have a wee go at it. I'm going to have a slug of this, and it's actually a Ribena. No, it's not. Okay. sing the chorus of this as well if you want. The time has come, the light is leaving. What was sure will soon be gone. What was certain falls and fades away. And though we search, the fields are empty, and through the forest there's not a sign. And the words we shared we can no longer say. They hide in the wind, hide in the wind. They hide, they never leave us. They hide in the wind, hide in the wind. They hide, ready to lead us home. Julie sang and played piano. She taught her little ones the same. Follow your dreams, let no one bend your way. For some the day will last a lifetime. For others it's a moment long. It all flows endless, dark into the grave. But they hide in the wind, hide in the wind. They hide, they never leave us. They hide in the wind, hide in the wind. They hide, ready to lead us home. So in this silent place you'll find us, where troubles lie too deep to stand. And the seeds we sow must grow from where they land. And the time has come, the light is leaving. What was sure will soon be gone. What was certain falls and fades away. But they hide in the wind, hide in the wind. They hide, they never leave us. Hide in the wind, hide in the wind. They hide, ready to lead us home. Maybe you could sing it with me. We want to try that. No, we'll try singing. They hide in the wind, hide in the wind. They hide, they never leave us. They hide in the wind, they hide in the wind. They hide, they never hide in the wind. They hide in the wind. They hide. They never leave us. They hide in the wind. Hide in the wind. They hide, ready to lead us home. Well done. And thank you very much. And that's my wee song, Hide in the Wind, to bring us to the end of our wee half an hour on Saturday night. And thank you very much for joining me. Thanks to Jenny for pressing the buttons. A couple of other things I was going to say. Yeah, now there's no live show next week because I'll be in New York. I'm heading off at the end of the week to New York to do a concert in the Carnegie Hall, believe it or not. With a few other musician friends of mine. So there's a couple of bands and I have a wee spot on this show. So I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been in New York for years, and so we're flying, Jen and I are flying over. And but we'll try and get some kind of communication with you at 9 o'clock. I don't know. It's and now I know a lot of the global choir, American global choir people are heading up to the Carnegie Hall. Now, I think it's a lady called Bernadette has made these beautiful kind of badges with little feathers for so that the global choir people can recognise each other if they sort of. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to get out the front to say hello because there are very strict rules in the Carnegie Hall. It's quite a. We've discovered since we've all agreed to do it that the rules in the Carnegie Hall are very very strict. But anyway, we'll see what happens when we get there. But anyway, I'll maybe sort of see some of the global choir people over there, and so there won't be one next week, but there will be a one the week after that because I'm just going over to do the show and coming back. And what's really interesting is that I have not this piano here, but through in the house I have an upright Bechstein piano that belonged to Andrew Carnegie, actually. And his granddaughter just lived along the road from me here in a wee village called Butterstone. And when they closed Skibo Castle down, because Carnegie was Scottish, and he had a big castle up in Skibo, and when that after his death and they closed it all down, she inherited two pianos, a Steinway grand piano and this beautiful upright Bechstein. It's 100 years old. And they had been shipped over from New York to the castle. And she had no room for it, so she advertised it in the local paper, and I was able to buy it. And I've had it for years, and it's a fantastic piano. And anyway, so that's my wee connection to Carnegie. Anyway, so I'll leave you with that. And oh yeah, now the tickets are now on sale for our next ticketed one. You can get tickets at www.dougiemacleanlive.com. And these wee ticketed shows, I've got a couple of videos that I made up on the island of Mull, which I'll be able to show the folk, because I love making these wee 5-minute sort of, I don't know, Dougie documentaries. So they're not kind of, they're just my kind of impressions on certain things that I'm interested in, and I really enjoy it. And I'm taking my camera over to New York, so I'll see if I can get a wee video of what's going on over there. But it's Tartan Week, I think, Scottish Week in New York, so there'll be a lot of Scots raking around Manhattan. Anyway, yeah, so I'm nothing but to say good night, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. The tickets are on sale for the other one. That helps to kind of keep the wheels of the broadcasts oiled. You get the ticket at www.dougiemacleanlive.com, and I hope you're all looking after each other. And thank you to the Tatty Faces. The Tatty Faces are really pissed off that I'm going to New York, and they're not talking to me actually. And Mr. Tatty Face come up to me and he says, "Well, look, you don't need to take the whole band." He says, "But you could at least take me," he said. he's angling for getting a wee trip over himself, but he's not getting. I'm taking the tatty face mugs with me, but I'm not taking the tatty face tea towels with me, but I'm not. Anyway, they're not talking to me at the moment, but they'll be fine. And anyway, I've not gone crazy. It's okay. I'm just having a bit of a laugh. So, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you're all looking after each other, staying cheery. The world's a very crazy place at the moment, but music's a wonderful, magical thing to share. So you all look after each other, keep smiling like a tatty face. I'll see some of you in New York, and night, and you all take care. Bye-bye.